My peoples. My peoples. Y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome to a brand new episode of Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. J. Will, what's the deal, my G? Good morning, family. DuckTales, what better way to start this morning's show? DuckTales, my G. That's what's going on right now. That's the reality. But we have to talk about it, my peoples. Everybody knows Tank Davis was supposed to fight Lamont Roach next. We had a fight date. It never happened. No rematch. Instead, Tank Davis opted to fight Jake Paul in an exhibition fight. Everybody's talking about it all over social media. Now, it's interesting to see the point of view of most people versus the point of view of Tank Davis fans. They're loyal. This this situation once again proves how loyal Tank's fan base is. They loyal, my people. Come on now. We're talking about a fight where many felt Tank Davis lost to Lamont Roach. But not only that, he did lose because it was a draw, but we know about the knockdown that was never scored. So he actually did lose. The referee made a mistake, which was acknowledged by the New York State Athletic Commission. They said he made a mistake. So in other words, Tank was gifted a draw because of a mistake. So if we now know that Tank Davis was gifted that, how could it be that we have a scheduled rematch with the one guy Tank Davis couldn't beat? The one guy who put a blemish on his record. And he walks away to fight an exhibition. Come on now. How do we say that's not a duck? Well, apparently he's not a duck because he's going to make a lot of money. And what he's going to do next means that it's not a duck. So that's the new logic. One of the new go-to. Oh, well, he's going to make a lot of money, so it's cool. Ernest Morales. Good morning to the Box Center family. Good morning, brother. Bam. J. Will. This is a bad look on boxing. I'm all about guys getting their money. But at some point, when does the sport of boxing matter? I'm going to say this. Tank Davis could have fought Jake Paul after the rematch. That wouldn't have been a problem. Even Jake Paul said it himself after the first fight. Me and him had a fight scheduled, but because of what happened, we're going to wait for the rematch, and then we're going to fight. That was the plan. They was going to do that. But I guess they decided, nah, man, we don't want to fight Roach. If we take this L, it's a wrap. That Jake Paul bag is going to disappear in the blink of an eye. And honestly, my peoples, that's the logic that makes sense to me. Because if you remember, it was actually either the same day or the day after that Jake Paul revealed him and Tank Davis were planning to fight each other. They did not fight right away because it was a draw. Tank Davis was gifted that draw versus Lamont Roach. But remember, Jake was there. He was supposed to climb the ring and everything. And they said, well, we didn't do it because now he's going to do the rematch. Now the rematch is off. Guess what? Tank Davis and his team decided we don't want that action with Lamont Roach because if we lose, this Jake Paul bag is going to disappear in the blink of an eye. And that's why there's no rematch and they're going straight to Jake Paul. Lamont Roach was ducked by Tank Davis. Come on now. Let's accept the reality. Let's keep it 100, my peoples. It will be capped to say that he did not. John Parham, the fight could definitely have waited. They was not planning on fighting. Listen, Something changed because after Tank Davis fought Lamont Roach, what was planned was a rematch and then Jake Paul. Jake Paul said it himself, my people. Jake himself said they're gonna handle that and then we're gonna do what we gotta do. And look, they didn't handle that. John Parent, Ryan Garcia tweeted, the fight not going to happen. Psh, man, listen. It's but remember, for you guys who have been here, y'all know. I told you. No press conferences for Tank versus Roach. No face-off. No promotion. Nothing. Not a shred of evidence that a fight is being planned between them. And look, they have, which, by the way, Blue Blood Sports TV was the first person, shout out to Blue, who put it out there that this fight was not happening. And when he said that, a lot of people were like, that's cap, that's cap. As always, you know, the haters gonna talk their shit. And there you have it, the fight didn't happen. So the haters gonna hit up Blue like, yo, my bad, yo, you was right, you got it. There you have it. But the denial is crazy right now. The level of denial is insane. How do you brought up a guy from the 130 division to fight you? He fight you to a draw. You yourself said right after the fight, I want my rematch. I don't know if you guys remember. Not my rematch. He didn't word it like that. He said, I want a rematch. Right after the fight, in the post-fight interview, he said, yeah, I want a rematch. Boy, they went back and looked at the video and said, God damn, this dude put all type of hands on Tank. We don't want the rematch, actually. Forget the rematch. You know how anticipated that rematch was? How many people was talking about it? How people was predicting, I myself said Lamont Roach was gonna win the rematch. People say, no, Tank just wasn't focused. He's gonna knock him out the next time. Look, you thought Tank Davis was gonna knock him out? Tank Davis don't believe you. His team don't believe you. Come on now. Handyman jobs. 200 million will change things. That's the way that you can avoid the duck. That's the way that you can try to fly over the duck by now trying to say, oh, no. It's because he's making a lot of money. It's still a duck, family. See, you cannot get out of a duck by trying to explain it away with, he's going to make a lot of money. No, it doesn't work that way. You see, this is the dude who beat your ass. This is the dude who should have walked out of that fight with a W, but the referee was looking the other way or playing dumb when Tank took a knee. We know what happened in the first fight. We don't have to play it off, right? We know Tank Davis was gifted that draw. So taking that into account, there's no way that you could explain away a draw. Which, by the way, that $200 million, you literally made it up out of thin air because nobody has publicized that Tank Davis is going to make that much money. So you literally made that up out of thin air, bro. Like, come on now. For few, hello from Poland. Whoa, Poland is in the building. Salute. Alberto Caballero, nice day. Peace. Salute, my brother. Appreciate you dropping in. Handyman jobs. Netflix did. No, they did not. That's a lie. Netflix never said they're going to pay Tank Davis $200 million. Stop lying. Do not make things up out of thin air. They paid the referee. Whoa, now you're making... That I'm going to say, look, it could be. You never know what went down because that was really weird. But we can say as a fact. If you tell me, I think they pay the referee, I would say that's more fair. That's saying they paid them because you're putting it out there as a fact, and we don't know that for a fact. We do know that a lot of little things happen, and the referee was just stuck there looking. Like, for example, think about the moment Tank Davis took a knee, right? He got up and walked away. I promise you, the reason Tank did this is because he thought the referee was going to give him a standing 8 count. So while he was getting that standing 8 count, he walked to his corner, was going to get wiped and keep it moving. But the referee didn't give him a standing 8 count, which made it more obvious that he went to the corner and got his face wiped while the clock was ticking. You ever seen somebody go in the apron while the clock is ticking and do that? So all of that seemed more obvious. It's like it was a microscope on it when it happened, because the referee was kind of like just standing there watching. If a count would have been happening, if the referee was counting and he would have went and did that real quick, it wouldn't have been a big deal. But the fact that he was just there looking at you and you did it, and the referee did nothing about the knee, nothing about turning around, nothing about your corner, wiping your face, is suspect. It is suspect. And with all of what happened in that fight, you got a rematch scheduled. There's a date out there. And after scheduling the rematch, you announce, or it's leaked, or it's announced that you're fighting Jake Paul next. Look, first of all, Eddie Hearn said that Tank Davis was fighting Jake Paul months ago. I posted a video about that. And when I posted that video, a lot of Tank Davis fans told me that Eddie was capped, that fight was never going to happen, that Eddie was capped, and I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Where those people at? Where they at? That's what I want to know. I would love to. That's the thing, man. Every time people are wrong, they seem to never want to show up. If you go back, you'll see the video. Eddie Hearn said it months ago. Jake Paul is going to fight Tank Davis. Or Tank Davis is going to go fight Jake Paul at the end of the year. And I posted a video about that. And I told you guys. And what was the response? Oh, nah, Eddie Hearn is just cap. He just hating on Jake Paul. He don't know what he's talking about. You hating on Jake Paul. You hating on Tank, and you don't know what you talk. Tank Davis ducked the rematch with Lamont Roach, and now he's going to fight Jake Paul. Come on now. Am I lying? Tell me what exactly is not accurate about what I'm saying. That's why, my peoples, I'm not into conspiracies. I don't do conspiracies. Glenn Johnson, AJ Smith, from a nigga who put out gloves, dudes be scared of Tank. Roach wasn't scared. Can we speak on that aspect of boxing? Hold on, Jay Smith. Let me read it better. AJ Smith, from a nigga who put on gloves, dudes be scared of Tank. Roach wasn't scared. Can we speak on that aspect of boxing? Oh, that's a fact. That's a fact. And look, that's a very interesting talking point. We can speak on it for sure. So this is what happens. When a fighter is scared of getting hit, they're going to fight either defensively, too defensively, or they're going to try to use their offense to avoid getting attacked. And that's the worst. That's the worst. When you see a guy coming and you're not punching strategically, but instead you're trying to stop him from doing you in, that's the worst. Because now you're just being hunted. So Tank Davis puts himself in a situation because of all his knockouts, because of his knockout power, where guys go into that fight, kind of like when they fought Mike Tyson. Feeling like, this guy, damn, he's just gonna take one for this guy to sleep me. Lamont Roach has such a good defense, and he has such a good game plan for Tank Davis that he was able to walk him down and go toe-to-toe with him for the entire 12 rounds. You never saw Tank Davis mounting an attack with Lamont Roach, shelled up in a corner or shelled up in the ropes, boom, boom, taking punishment. That never happened during the entire 12 rounds. So that's the difference between Lamont Roach and all of his opponents. The rest of his, and I'm not gonna say every opponent was scared, but all I'm saying, and look at Pitbull Cruz. Pitbull was in there to fight. But all I'm saying is, Guys are wary of that big punch. Lamont Roach embraced it. He was in there inside that phone booth with Tank Davis, making a miss and making a pay, partially blocking, sometimes getting hit, but never eating that finishing blow that Tank Davis is so used to delivering. Why? Lamont Roach wasn't scared. That's it. He wasn't scared of Tank Davis. He was there to whoop his ass. And that's exactly what he did. Don't let nobody tell you otherwise. Lamar Roach whooped that ass. And that's the reason why there's no rematch. Come on now. We have to simply look at the facts. You brought up a guy from the 130 division. Everybody, including myself, is predicting a knockout. I'm like, nah. Lamar Roach, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it past the 9th. He's going to do good. He's fast. He got little quick hands. That was me, my people. You see, when I get it wrong, I'm happy to tell you I got it wrong. Why people can't do that? Why is it so tough? Glenn Johnson, Cole Camacho. I think it's too early, man. Camacho, Greg Hackett, they be sleeping, bro. They be sleeping. Salute to both of them, though. But yeah, man, you have to look at this whole situation the way that it played out and say, damn, how can we say that this is not a duck? How can we explain it away? Look, we saw somebody in the comment section trying it earlier. Oh, no, he's making a lot of money. Since when has that even been a relevant topic of conversation to duck a fight? Never has been. Glenn Johnson stood in the booth with him, Jay. Come on, bro. Right there. Face to face. The only fighter that we've seen do that with Tank is Pitbull Cruz. Nobody's done it like that. And not only stood in the phone booth, had Tank Davis backing down. Had Tank Davis using his lateral movement for most of the fight. Tank Davis was the guy moving around. And when he stood his ground, Lamar Roach was right there with him, exchanging. I want to ask you this and consider it. Lamar Roach would be on the inside, and you see that counter punch, that counter left that Tank Davis does, boom, and he hurts people, knocks them out, all that. Yo, Lamar Roach would slip that counter, that power counter, boom, and counter Tank. How many fighters, or can you point me at an instance where you saw another fighter countering Tank Davis's power shot, counter power shot? Not just that he threw a big punch. Remember, Lamar Roach would shoot, Tank Davis counter, and then Lamar, boom, counters that. Name me another fighter who did that to Tank Davis. Tommy, Roach whooping Davis so bad, he'd rather do an exhibition match. It's so hilarious. I mean, come on now. We watched the fight, the way that it played out, and most people accept that Tank Davis was gifted that draw. It's such a huge gift, not only because of the way the fight played out, because the referee didn't score the knee and knockdown. The referee didn't do anything when Tank Davis turned his back, or when the corner went on the apron and wiped his face while the clock was ticking. My peoples, nobody in this group right now, nobody in the chat could tell me that you ever seen that in your life. The sequence that played out, you could tell me, oh, a guy maybe took a knee and they didn't count. You could tell me little things that happened. But that sequence that we saw right there, if you was watching the fight live, we was all like, yo, what is going on? What's happening? He took a knee turn. I've seen look, number one, I've seen fighters most of the time, obviously, take a knee and it's a standing 8 count right away because you're trying to take a break. That's the first thing. Number two, I seen fighters turn their back and walk away from their opponent and the referee immediately waved the fight. The fight. You quit. You quit. That's a sign of quitting when you walk away like that. In amateur and professional boxing, I can show you receipts. That would be so easy. And then number three, the corner goes on the apron while the clock is ticking and wipes the face while the clock is ticking. Guess what? That's grounds for disqualification. You can actually disqualify the fighter for that. The corner cannot assist the fighter mid-round unless instructed with anything. So all these things happen and we watching it, and the whole time the referee is like, and then, okay guys, let's go, fight. Nothing happened here, nothing to see. Shit was crazy. Shit was crazy. Ernest Morales, Tank's star power preserved his title. Looks like Tank is depending more on his promotional team than his talent. That's it. That's it. It's not just all about making money, but this is exhibit A of what protecting that O looks like. Right here, you see it. Damn, this was too close for comfort. Forget the rematch. Think about how anticipated this rematch was. Think about people already making predictions. We already got a fight date. We arguing about it. And look, the hydro grind. Salute, my brother. Bam. Come on, let's keep it 100, my people. Where's the folks that told me, nah, yo, Tank Davis is not ducking because, you know, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. He's gonna fight Roach. Now it's like, nah, you know what happened was that he's gonna make a lot of money, so you can duck if you're gonna make a lot of money. What? When did this new logic kick in? I need to find out how much money Canelo made when he ducked those guys. So then I can say, oh, that's not a duck now. Wait a minute. Let's see how much money he made. Y'all explain. Please explain that logic to me. Oh, well, Tank Davis is not ducking because he's going to make a lot of money. Whoa, wait a minute. Since when the amount of money a fighter's going to make is what decides if he's ducking or not? I never heard of this new logic. Is this the Tank Davis duck rule? Because last I checked, Tank Davis had a rematch with Lamont Roach. A date was set. They were supposed to fight. And now he's fighting Jake Paul. He's not ducking because he's going to make a lot of money? Hold on. I need somebody to let me know how much money Canelo made after he ducked Boo Boo, after he ducked Benavidez, and after he ducked, who else? After he ducked them guys, tell me how much money he made, how many millions, because I guess that might not be a duck. He made a lot of millions of dollars after that. Like, yo, that is the goofiest logic ever. Oh, he made a lot. He's going to make a lot of money, so it's not a duck. Goofballs. My people, I just be honest, man. That's all I'm saying. I just be honest, my peoples. Pat Brady, he's ducking, but I can't hate the money chase. Nah. Listen, as far as the money chase, I don't knock it at all. Armando Rosado, salute from Puerto Rico. Bam, salute, my brother. The hydro grind. The ref been interviewed after the incident. I don't even know, man. I don't even know. The last I heard from him, he said he couldn't talk about it because it was being reviewed or whatever. But still, man, this is going down as one of the most blatant ducks in boxing history. In boxing history, my people. Guy whoop your ass, got a rematch date set, and you choose not to fight him. Come on now, what are we doing? Kevin Jones, haha. The duck move is real. But the duck move is real when we talk business. He making his money. He gonna make I'm sure this is going to be a career payday for Tank Davis. So Hector Camacho Jr. himself told me, yo, that's a great move. He making money. He making the bag. So I see and I get that there are going to be people who look at that aspect of it. He making money. He not risking that. Oh, it's an exhibition. Go for him. Go get the money. John P. He was seen at work after the fight. Someone asked him about the fight. Pat Brady. I don't like it either. I just can't have anyone putting these finances first. I mean, the thing is, I want to remind you something. I want to remind you guys something. And I'll make a receipt of it. Okay? Guys, do you remember when Jake Paul did that interview and he revealed that him and Tank Davis was supposed to fight? But the fight wasn't happening because of the draw between Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. However, after Tank handled business, him and Tank was going to fight. So Jake Paul revealed that they were already planning a rematch over there before they fought each other. What changed that made Tank Davis not fight that rematch and go straight for Jake Paul? I told you. They went back, looked at the tape, and said, damn, this dude whooped their ass. And if we lose that rematch, there ain't going to be no Jake Paul back. Forget the rematch. That's what happened. My people, let me grab my breakfast real quick. Y'all know this is boxing for breakfast, my peoples. Come on now. Have your breakfast. Está bien. Está bien. My peoples. Here's my breakfast right here. Ooh, I got 2 eggs this morning. 2 of them. Enjoy your breakfast. If you just woke up, salute. If you're on your way to work. If you're just hanging out. If you just decided, let me tune in and enjoy boxing for breakfast this early. I appreciate y'all tuning in, my peoples. Enjoy your breakfast. And let's have a good day. Happy Thursday. Ernest Morales. Saludos, John P. Armando of Gem City. It's a money grab. Jake Paul fights are just as real as WWE. It is a money grab, but it's also a duck. That's the thing that I noticed. People want to put the emphasis on the money grab and fly right over the duck. Like it's not happening right in front of our faces. Oh, shit. This egg is hot than a mofo. Woo. Go get the money. Seriously. Tank shouldn't be fighting Jake Paul. Tank is helping ruin the sport of boxing. Man, listen. Man, listen. Opinions are gonna be divided. Like I said, I have folks that told me it's a great move for Tank. So, you know what? I think we could separate it. We could say, okay, as a businessman, it's a great move. As a boxer, trying to create a legacy, man, you don't give a damn about no legacy. Your fans is the first one talking about, this guy don't got legacy fights, and that guy don't got legacy fights, and this guy ain't fight nobody. Tank Davis fighting Jake Paul. You 30 years old, dead in the center of your prime. And you're going to fight a YouTube boxer who nobody respects. Ooh. Yeah. In a freaking exhibition fight. By the way, my peoples. I don't want to hear. Please don't tell me. No, because Tank Davis, he's going to fight Lamont Roach next. He's just going to get the bag first. You don't know what he's going to do next. It's the same thing that happened with the ones who told me, Oh, he's never gonna fight Jake Paul. He's never gonna fight him. Come on. Now he is gonna fight him. And Eddie Hearn try to tell your goofy ass. The hydro grind. Imagine if Jake pays for Tank to let him get knocked down. Oh well. I don't know what to say about that. But it is an exhibition. Exhibitions are meant for entertainment purposes. Do it that way you will. Diablo of Dance. Jake is going to knock out Tank and shut up the critics. It's an exhibition fight, man. You need a timeout. It's an exhibition fight. What are you talking about? Kami. Davis is the prime victim of Mayweather effect. I'm gonna disagree with you. He's not a victim because he hasn't been with Floyd for a few years now, and he hasn't done anything himself either. So he's a victim of wanting to protect his own. Because before he was under Mayweather, I could tell you, yo, Mayweather was controlling everything. That's it. Tank Davis is his own star and decide what he wants to do. And he's decided not to fight any other best. And to duck Shakur blatantly. John Parham. Why Jake making women boxing nice, but messing up men's boxing? You see, the thing about Jake Paul is that women's boxing is the way that he can have a legit career in the sport of boxing. Men's boxing is where he wishes he had a legit career. He has a legit career as far as making money. But he's never going to be seen as an elite level fighter. He's never going to be seen. He's never going to be a world champion. You can forget that shit. You got beat by Tommy Fury. Come on now. So he has the level of success in women's boxing that he wish he had in men's boxing. But he'll never have it. And that's the thing. Even in his, I think in his Instagram, he says it. He has it, posted that his number one priority is his boxing. Number two priority is MVP, his roster. So think about it. You have all of these reigning active world champions, and your main priority is you, who you're, I want to say a B-level fighter, and that's very, very generous. Come on. John Parham, Glenn Johnson, all the talent in the world. That's what I'm saying. Tank Davis has all the talent in the world. And I'm going to tell you this. If Tank Davis fought, let's say he fought everybody. Let's say he was like, that's it, I'm going to fight everybody. That's it. His open borders over here. If he did that, he would retire with a record of like, and I'm just throwing a number out there, right, that I think. 40-3. 45-2, 44-1, 44-4. He will still retire with a great record, but with multiple losses. And he don't want that. He want to retire with that. If you look at the Tank guys that'll give Tank the most problem, if you start saying Shakur, Devin, Tio, Subriel Matias, because he's going to 140, and you start naming other fighters, right? If he was to fight all of them before retiring, he'll take 2 or 3 L's, but he'll beat a lot of them too. So he will still retire as a great fighter of this era, but he's not trying to risk that. He's not trying it. My peoples, y'all already know what it is, man. Welcome to another episode of Boxing for Breakfast. For those of you who tuned in, we talking about this whole situation, man. Tank Davis, he should have fought Lamont Roach. We saw the way that fight played out. Come on, man. How can we really make an argument and justify that it's not a duck? There's just no getting around it. And let me just say this. Right after the fight between Tank and Lamont, in the post-fight interview, Tank said, yeah, I want the rematch. So you see, he was feeling, that energy from just getting out that fight. Like, damn, this dude put hands on me. He wanted that rematch. What changed? What changed from fight night to yesterday that they decided they don't want to do the rematch no more? I tell you what changed. They watched the video. They was like, damn, this dude whooped our ass. Let's go fight Jake Paul. They understand if they would have fought that rematch and got whooped, and now no cheating, no gifted decision, no referee looking away, and Lamont Roach gets the W, ain't no Jake Paul fight happening. That's it. It'll disappear in the blink of an eye. They said we cannot afford to get our ass whooped by Roach again, because this time around he'll walk out of there with the decision. Armando Rosado, it might not be a duck. I think the Jake Paul fight was planned from before the first Lamont fight. So Armando Rosado, and then Tan had some legal issues and realized he needed money for lawyers and baby mothers. So, Aroma Sound, I'm going to tell you what's the problem with what you just said. The day, I think it was the day after that Tank Davis and Lamont Roach fought, is when Jake Paul revealed that he was planning on fighting Tank Davis. And Tank Davis fans said that that was a lie, by the way. And I posted about it. And I'm quoting Jake Paul, maybe not word for word, but I'm quoting him. Myself and Tank was planning on having a rematch. I was gonna go in the ring and everything, but the fight ended in a draw. So now he's gonna have a rematch with Lamont Roach. When he handle business, me and him are gonna fight. Bro, a fight date was posted for Tank Davis and Lamont Roach. Did you forget that? Not only that, a fight date was posted, and then they posted another date, like they pushed it forward. And I told you guys, this whole thing reminded me of Errol versus Crawford, that rematch. I told you it gave me the same vibes. Why? Come on, man. Come on, man. Yo, those of you who was on that episode of Boxing for Breakfast, you know I told y'all what Tank Davis is doing with Lamont Roach is giving me the same Errol Spence vibes when he was supposed to fight that rematch with Crawford. First, they had a fight date set. We're going to fight on that date. Then that date was pushed forward to a different date. Then we didn't even have a date. Eventually, Spence pulled out. And look now. We had a date for Tank versus Lamont Roach. That date was pushed forward. And now the announcement that we got is that Tank Davis is fighting Jake Paul. That same thing, the same thing that Errol did with Crawford, Tank Davis now did with Roach. I try to tell y'all. John Pound, Tank mentioned someone walking in the locker room after Tank Roach fight. Jake only went to the Tank fight to lay down a blueprint. Yeah, listen, if the fight would have played out the way we expected, let's say Tank Davis would have knocked Lamont Roach out. Round number 9. Boom, explosive knockout. We're celebrating. We're going crazy. Jake Paul goes in the ring and challenges Tank Davis. Tank accepts, and we go crazy. It explodes all over social media. That's what was going to happen. But Roach, he changed everything up for them. So why would Tank go from saying I want a rematch, we're gonna fight a rematch, to nah, I'm good, I'm gonna fight Jake Paul? Why you think that? Why do you think that happened? Instead of just saying, oh no, it's just the money, it's just the money, it's just the money. You could have fought. You could have fought Lamont Roach, got that little bag real quick, and then got the Jake Paul bag. Why? What happened? Gojo Tio, Jake Paul just proved again why he is the 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 face of boxing. Almost got Canelo, and now got Tank. What a clown Tank is. John Parham. A week after the Tank fight, Jake was posting videos of him beating up a Tank poster. No, Jake Paul was definitely trying to make this fight happen. But none of that is going to change the fact that he thought Tank Davis was going to do a rematch and then fight him. He said it himself. And that rematch just disappeared into thin air. Glenn Johnson, duck gone wrong. Listen, bro, that was a cherry pick gone wrong. And then the first duck of a cherry pick that I could think of. That you cherry pick a guy and then you ducking him? That's crazy. Go get the money. You couldn't even make this shit up even if we wanted to, bro. This is a Hollywood script. This is a Hollywood script right here. You couldn't write a Hollywood script like this one. Aroma Sound. He can't risk a loss to Lamont before the Jake Paul fight because then he won't make as much money. Okay, then. But if he can't risk a loss, are we finally ready to accept what Tank Davis' career been about? Is that what you're telling me? Been about not risking losses? Because a lot of fighters stay undefeated by not risking losses. That's all I'm saying. A lot of fighters stay undefeated by not risking losses. Go get the money. Watch Tank fans blame the Jake Paul fight, the reasoning why he didn't do the rematch. They're already doing it. They're already saying that, nah, it's because it's a big bag, so it's not a duck. Come on. It makes sense. Ernest Morales, you nailed it. Heard it first on Box Center. And I try to tell people, he not fighting. And I'm going to say this. I want to give shout-outs to Blue Blood Sports TV because he's the first person to tell me. He said it here on the show. He said it obviously on his show that fight wasn't happening. He said it. He already said it. So we have to be realistic. It's an exhibition, folks. It's an exhibition fight, folks. Nobody gets smashed in an exhibition fight. Relax. Calm down. Tank Davis is fighting an exhibition fight. Nobody getting knocked out, washed, none of that. Just relax. Go get the money. Lil Tink Tink Duck. Aroma Sound. He was with Mayweather, so staying undefeated is probably something he learned from being there. But the thing is, man, that we've already seen fighters take L's and still be able to have a good career. The stuff about being undefeated, that's a myth. That's a myth that came along with Mayweather and newer boxing fans. But we have to understand, look at all these fighters. Look at Fondoro. He's the hottest guy at 154. He got knocked out. Knocked out. Nobody's talking about that. Nobody give a damn about that. He's the man right now. Canelo got 2 losses. He the face of boxing. Come on, my peoples. And then if you go back in history, if you look at Sugar Ray Leonard, Marvelous Marvin Hagler, Muhammad Ali, Smoking Joe Frazier, Tommy Hearns, the greatest fighters of all time, most of them took multiple losses. That doesn't change. That doesn't take away from your greatness. So if Tank Davis was to gamble it and fight all of the big dogs and retire with a record of 45-3, that would still be a great record. He would still be one of this era's greats. But instead, he'll protect the O and not fight any of those guys. And we, the fans, get to miss out. Kami, Canelo is still considered the best boxer right now. And he has losses. I wouldn't say the best because he's not ranked number 1 in the pound for pound list. He's not even top 5 in the pound for pound list. But he is considered one of the best fighters in the world with multiple losses on his record. Which I said that earlier, you know, having a loss does not take away a fighter's accomplishments and what they've been able to do inside the ring. People forget. As soon as you lose, it's like, oh, nah, he's a bum. He's a hype job. He's not all that. Come on, man. Come on, my peoples. And something else that I want to point out. I see that a lot of Tank Davis fans keep focusing on the amount of money that Tank is going to make, so it's not a duck. Can anybody tell me how much money Canelo made after ducking Boo Boo, Benavidez, and Charlo? Because then I guess if he made a lot of money, then it's not a duck too, right? Are we going to have to go back in history now and determine how much money these people made after the fight that they supposedly ducked so that we can then say, wait a minute, that's a lot of money that he made, bro. That's not a duck then. My God, what type of logic people come up with? That's why people get mad at me, because they throw a bad logic in my direction and I just cook it. Cook it. And my people, that's just the way that I am. If I tell you that you don't know shit about boxing, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings or disrespect you or nothing like that, my peoples. Boxing is a sport where we do a lot of trash talking. Plus, some people really don't know shit about boxing. But come on, there is no way to formulate an argument that dictates that Tank is not ducking Lamont Roach. There's no argument to be made. There is no argument. NJ003, Canelo is a duck. Only way to put it. Only way to put it. But is Tank Davis a duck? If you say Canelo's a duck for those fights, is Tank Davis a duck? That's what I need to understand. You coming out of the blue about Canelo, Tank Davis is the guy that's ducking right now. He's the guy from yesterday. That's another main talking point that I noticed. Explain this to me, my people. How is it possible that you post about Canelo ducking Tank and the people in the comment section are saying, well, about Tank ducking Lamont Roach, my bad. How do you post about Tank ducking Lamont Roach and people comment, well, you know, Canelo ducked Boo Boo and Canelo ducked Charlo and he ducked, where else? How are you bringing up fights that you say Canelo ducked from years ago when Tank Davis is ducking right now? Don't you think that's kind of ridiculous? Don't you think there's a certain level of goofiness? Because Canelo ducking Boo Boo, you already spoke about that. We already spoke about that. We debated about that. Canelo ducking Charlo, we already spoke about that. So every time Tank Davis duck, you're going to bring up fights about Canelo from years ago? Come on. Don't you think that's kind of ridiculous? Let's keep it 100, my people. You already used that. You don't get to keep recycling that. He ducked Boo Boo years ago. You don't get to recycle that card, bro. You don't get to recycle it and use it every year after Tank Davis cherry pick an opponent. After Tank Davis ducks an opponent. Forever, ever. You always gonna bring that up? Well, Canelo ducked Boo Boo years ago, and he ducked Charlo 2 years ago. Well, Tank Davis ducking Lamont Roach right now. What you gonna say about that? Come on, man. Elsewhere, Stank Davis is the reason people think boxing is fake. Accurate. Hello, sir. John Parham. Hit the like button, my peoples. No doubt. You already know what it is, man. This is another episode of Boxing for Breakfast where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning, my peoples. Salute to everybody who's tuning in. Yo, if you eating your breakfast right now, I already finished mine, man. I had 2 boiled eggs. That's all I have for breakfast. So if you having breakfast right now, enjoy it. I don't know shit about French. Bon appetit. If you're on your way to work, salute. Whatever y'all doing right now, man, I appreciate you guys tuning in. But let me know what y'all think about this whole Tank Davis situation. This whole, how is it that people don't see it as a duck? I need to understand it. I need to understand it. I need to understand it. And some people need a break because they sound delusional. Aroma sound. The funny thing, it seems like Jake Paul is fighting for legacy and Tank is fighting for money, which is backwards. Oh man. And then an exhibition fight. You know how much credibility you take away from a fight when you have a 30-year-old fighter champion in his prime doing an exhibition fight with a guy at Jake Paul's level who's not even in his same weight class. It's a circus show. This is literally a circus show. It's a circus show. But, hey, even though it's a circus show, it is business. It is about business. It is about money. Tank Davis is gonna make a lot of money. He has a very loyal fan base, and they don't mind him fighting Jake Paul next. So it is what it is. It is what it is, my peoples. I am looking forward to, to seeing a lot of people's reaction today. And again, this is one of the craziest ducks that we've seen in recent times. We're not gonna see another one like this anytime soon, where a guy get his ass whooped, has a rematch in place, and then decides to fight an exhibition in his very next fight. I don't know if we're gonna see that again. Tank Davis really did it this time. He really pulled the number. Pulled a number, my peoples. But he's gonna make a lot of money. That's for sure. You're gonna make a lot of money. My peoples, remember, to those of you who are just tuning in, I post a lot of shorts, a lot of videos. Make sure you check those out. This is gonna be, once you see it, one of the best boxing content that you've seen ever. Period, point blank. No getting around it. So check out those shorts, check out those videos, enjoy it, and then, thank me later. I'm trying to put you guys on. Aroma Sound. 65-pound weight difference is crazy. And they were mad at Crawford. Yeah, but the weight difference is not crazy because it's an exhibition fight. You see, that's the problem. It would be crazy if it was a real fight. It's an exhibition fight, bro. An exhibition. You know what an exhibition is for, right? Entertainment purposes. They're gonna entertain us. Ain't nobody getting hurt. That difference is not gonna make a difference. That weight difference don't mean anything. I mean, there's gonna be no difference, my peoples. Hold on one second. Hold on one second, my peoples. So my peoples, we see the, you know how people trying to defend, and justify. No, you know what happened was is that he's gonna make a lot of money, and that justifies it because hey, it's a lot of money. That's crazy. That's crazy, my peoples. John Parrow, a safe sparring match, basically. You see, that's it. It's an exhibition. Anybody who think that it's gonna be a real fight and Jake is gonna hurt Tank and Tank is gonna hurt Jake, man, listen, we're gonna be watching a sparring match. Yeah, they're gonna throw a few hard punches here and there. Nobody's gonna get hurt like that. Nobody's gonna get hurt like that. So, you know, I don't know how much of it is gonna be scripted, but it's an exhibition. Simple as that. They're telling us it's not a real fight. Come on now. When when is the last time that you saw somebody get knocked out in an exhibition? Or even remotely hurt? Y'all ain't fooling me with the goofballery. Go get the money. No uppercut for Tank in the contract. I'm telling you. Once they themselves let you know that it's an exhibition, that's it. What is it that you're expecting? When people say stuff like, nah, you know, um, it's a good fight. You know, Jake Paul's so big, he might knock him out. It's like, bro, what are you talking about? He's gonna knock him out. When is the last time, or have you ever seen a fighter get knocked out in an exhibition? Come on, bro. John Parham, so we paying for a sparring match. I think that shit's gonna be free on Netflix. I think it's gonna be free. They're gonna do it like that to get mad views. Kami, Floyd accidentally knocked out Logan Paul and had to hold him up to keep the show rolling. He clipped him at one point, but Logan looked like a goofball. A goofball. What the hell he was doing in that ring? Aroma Sound, do you think it will bring more fans to boxing if Tank wins over the Jake Paul fan base? I mean, no, it's not, because the Jake Paul fan base, it's already the Jake Paul fan base, and he has a bigger fan base than Tank. How is that gonna... Jake Paul is the bigger star in that fight. John Parham, Netflix isn't free. No, but what I'm saying is not gonna be pay-per-view. You know that. Like, for example, The Zone isn't free either. It's subscription, but there's fights on The Zone that you gotta buy. That's pay-per-view. So Netflix is the same thing. They could have you buy them separately from having the subscription. I think this fight is just gonna be like the Mike Tyson versus Jake Paul, when you didn't have to specifically buy the fight. If you got Netflix, you could watch it. So I'm not talking about the subscription of Netflix. I'm talking about you're not having to pay for the fight specifically. The Hydro Grind. Jake is a bigger star than Tank. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. In that fight, Jake Paul is going to be the A side. Jake Paul is going to be the man running the show. Simple as that. The Hydro Grind. He brings more people to the table. More people, more money, more everything. Patusha, you remember me? I don't know, but I remember giving you this 30-minute timeout. Come back talking about boxing, or I'm going to forget you again. Aroma Sound. I'm wondering if Tank will get the Jake fans after the fight, though. I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't even know if Tank is going to fight after the fight. I don't even know Tank just ducked a rematch. Why you not wondering why Tank ducked Lamont Roach? I don't know what he's going to do next. After that, he might retire. He's going to get a huge bag. Kami, I wonder if UFC, you wonder if UFC, you're gonna need a 30-minute break. Start wondering about boxing. Go get the money. Hey, yo. John Parham, the zone definitely coming for blood. Yo. Look, the zone has been very, very consistent with their boxing content. Dare I say they're unstoppable because ESPN is on their way out. I think this is the last year for ESPN. The hydro, let me be specific. I think this is the last year that ESPN does boxing, if I'm not mistaken. They're gonna get out of boxing. Or Top Rank. Top Rank is leaving ESPN, if I'm not mistaken. The hydro grind. Do you think someone like Jake Paul would have been allowed in the 90s boxing world? The thing is, before social media, I believe that. Okay. I believe before social media, Jake Paul would have never attempted to become a boxer. Because remember, what motivated him to become a fighter is that he realized with his star power, he can cross over to boxing, bring his fan base, and become one of the biggest names in boxing, which he has done that successfully. But guess what? In the 90s, YouTube didn't exist. In the 90s, social media wasn't what it was. So he would have been able to been a Disney kid, maybe a TV kid. And would he have been able to transition over when he didn't have social media to make that process? So I think in the 90s, Jake Paul would have just never become to choose a boxer. He would have, been an actor. We would have seen him in movies and stuff like that. In this era, if you have star power, he showed you can go into any field of combat sports he can get into. And if you're a big star, you just need to be a big star to call somebody out and make that fight happen. That's it. We learned it. We learned it, my people. Jake Paul proved it. And to be honest, that's a sad part of business. Because at the end of the day, there's so many fighters who we would like to see fight Tank Davis. And yet, Jake Paul, a guy who hasn't accomplished anything in boxing, a guy who hasn't done anything other than be popular, gets to climb in the ring versus Jake Paul. Versus Tank Davis. So I think it's actually sad. You want part 1, part 2, or part 3? So I'm going to play. There you go. Part 1. Let me get the fan for you. Hold on. Hold on, let me get the fan. Diablo of Dance. People like Jake will be successful in any era. Oh no, he'll be successful, just not in boxing. Just not in boxing. Because right now, his success in boxing is dictated on his popularity. He ain't done shit in the ring. Back in the days, you will not be successful in boxing. How are you going to be successful if you don't got YouTube, you don't got social media? He's not going to be successful for what he's doing in the ring. I don't know if you watched boxing in the 90s, but back then you was popular because of what you was doing in the ring. You couldn't be popular off of YouTube as he is now. So I don't know if I'm not making that clear. I'm trying to. Jake Paul first became famous on YouTube and then went on. Ven. No. Tenemos que. No. Espérate, Liru, que estamos en el toilet y tenemos que hacer. Quiero mi propio baño. No. Pues yo te lo tengo que limpiar primero eso. Eso hay que bajarlo. Ay, yo no quiero. Ay, ¿tú quieres que se te vayan a hacer encima, Dios? Hurry up, que tenemos. Oye, hurry up, que tenemos que buscar tu chocolate. David Blaine, you gone. See, 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 see. My peoples, my peoples, I'm gonna tell you like this. We're gonna have to get folks to admit that Tank Davis ducked Lamont Roach. That's all I'm saying. Juan Ocasio, don't be surprised to see Tank wearing a skirt to press conference for that bread. Oh, look, man, I don't know what they're gonna be doing, but it's a circus show. Let's be honest. It's a circus show, my people. It's really a circus show. We have to understand it. The reality of it is that right now is a group of fans who's disappointed about the whole Tank Davis situation, and another group of fans who are justifying it, who are saying, no, it's the right thing to do. He's doing it for the bag. He did, like, that's it. I think this whole situation exposes the difference between fans of boxing and fanboys and fangirls who are gonna justify no matter what, gonna find the angle to defend. You know how embarrassing it is? I feel embarrassed when I see somebody trying to explain it away. I feel embarrassed when I see somebody talking about, no, because you know what really happened was that Tank Davis, you know, he in reality is gonna make a lot more money, so this makes a lot more sense because it's a business and that aspect. You're like, bro, what the hell are you talking about? What is all this? And what makes this even worse, Tank Davis fans is the first one talking about this dude don't got legacy fights. This dude didn't beat nobody. This guy's ducking this guy and this guy's ducking that guy. As soon as Tank Davis ducked, no, you know, it's really about the business. He's gonna make more money, and really that's what it's about. You know, we don't. It's not a duck because it's business. What is going on, my people? What? Where are we in boxing where a fighter can duck a rematch and people just say no, because he's gonna make a lot of money, so it's okay. It- that makes it not a duck. How do people even come to that conclusion? Glenn Johnson, Shakur the one, God. Shakur is him. Shakur is him. While the Tanker Maniacs constantly attack Shakur, constantly try to disrespect him, they watch Tank Davis fighting Jake Paul, and they justify that. How ironic, right? Oh, Shakur this, oh, Shakur that. Then when they see that guy fighting Jake Paul, it's like, oh, nah. You know, it's Jake Paul. Come on, man. Come on, man. It's Jake Paul. It's Jake Paul. It's a lot of money that he's going to make with Jake. Oh, he's going to make a lot of money with Jake. So that allows him to duck. Come on now. When did we start this new logic? When? When did we start this new logic? That's what I need to understand. It's all new logic. And I could never quite understand it. I could never quite see it. How somebody convinces themselves that you can duck a fight if your next one is going to be for more money or for a lot of money. It's okay now to duck. When did that become a thing? Glenn Johnson, man, Shakur, a young master. Meanwhile, he's sparring Bud, which I was talking about that yesterday. I specifically said Shakur Stevenson working with Terrence Crawford. That's going to show when Bud fight Canelo. It's going to show in the footwork. It's going to show in the making a miss, in the distance. It's going to show. I know they working on a lot of things that Crawford is going to be successful doing. We're going to see it during fight night. Superman, people bugging about that. They wilding out. They are wilding out. They are wilding out. My peoples, it's 8 in the morning. My peoples, it's 8 in the morning. And I want to say thank you guys for tuning in for this episode of Boxing for Breakfast. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I'm planning a lot of different things, working on a lot of different things to make it a better show, to make it a better show for you guys. Hold on one second. Okay. Don't worry about it, right? I got it. I'm working on some things to make it a better show for you guys. I hope you guys will keep tuning in. We'll keep sharing this content. We'll keep letting everybody know. That bot right there. Hit it right there. Okay, go watch. I hope you guys, keep supporting me. Keep showing love. And I promise you, man, I'm going to keep delivering. I'm going to keep doing what I've been doing. And you guys know, if you've been rocking with me long enough, ain't no cap going on over here. This is now. I love you. Sit right there. I'm going to get your pants. You guys know that I don't do conspiracies. I don't do clickbait. I don't make stuff up just to try to, get people talking or get people going. None of that, my peoples. When you see me over here, every single live, this right here is episode 49 of Boxing for Breakfast. You can watch all 49 episodes. You ain't never gonna see me capping. No cap, my peoples. This is straight boxing going on over here. So I want to say, man, shout out to everybody who's showing love. Shout out to John Parham, Go Get the Money, and everybody else who been tuning into Box Center, been telling people this is where it's at. Boxing for Breakfast, where you get your healthy dosage of sweet science early in the morning. My peoples, I appreciate y'all. Enjoy your Thursday. I'm getting the hell out of here, man. We're going to be arguing all day, probably the rest of the week, about Tank Davis ducking ass. Talk to you guys later, man. Peace.